Okay, so before we move on to do some more exercises about le passé composé, I want to just point out what I pointed out quickly before, which is that when you're conjugating verbs with être, when they're verbs that take être, you have to make them agree, okay? And we talked about the Dr. and Mrs. P. Vandertramp verbs that are the ones that take être. There's another kind of verbs, another category of verbs that take être in the passé composé, and these are the verb réfléchir, okay, comme se laver. So these ones also have to be conjugated with être in the passé composé. Okay, even though the verb laver is not a Dr. and Mrs. P. Vandertramp, we still need to use the passé composé, or the verb être to conjugate it in the passé composé. So I gave you some examples. Nous nous sommes lavés. Okay, so look at this example. Okay, this first nous is your subject. Okay, the second nous is your pronom réfléchi. The third word is your verb, your auxiliary verb, your verbe auxiliaire, être. Okay, conjugated with the new form. And then your past participle. Laver is a regular ER verb, so it just gets an E with an accent aigu. And then you have to have an S to it because nous is plural. Okay, so that's what we call agreement of the past participle. Same thing for the phrase elles se sont amusées. Okay, you've got an elles pluriel. The se is the pronom réfléchi that goes with elles pluriel. Sont is the form of être that's conjugated, and then amusé gets an extra E and an S because we're talking about elles pluriel, and we therefore have to make it agree since it's conjugated with être. Okay. So let's just check and make sure we understood that. Conjuguer le verbe se coucher. Okay, so the reflexive pronoun that goes with je is me. Okay, I need the form of être that goes with je, it's suis. Coucher, there's your past participle. Okay, I'm a girl, so I'm going to add an E. Okay, tu. Okay, and my pronoun réfléchi is the tu, te. Okay, I can squish it with the ES of être, and then coucher, possibility of E. Okay. Il, the reflexive pronoun for il is se. Okay, but I can squish it with se, and then coucher. Elle, same reflexive pronoun, se, squish it, se, coucher. I need to add an E because she's a girl. Nous, I'm just going to repeat the nous because that's what the reflexive pronoun is. Verb of être, nous nous sommes couchés. There's multiple people in nous, always, so I need an S. Okay, vous, reflexive pronoun is a vous, again. Okay, I need the form of être, okay, which is et, and then couché. Possibility of S on that one. Okay, also there could be a possibility of an E on this one. Okay, if you're talking about a formal person who's a girl, who's a woman. Okay. Ils se sont couchés, and they are plural. And elles se sont couchées, and they are feminine plural, so add an E and an S. Okay, so that explains to you both the concept of taking reflexive verbs into the passé composé and always conjugating with them with the verb être, and also familiarizes you with the concept of agreement that we're going to talk about quickly now, which is adding an extra E if it's feminine, an S if it's plural masculine, and an ES if it's masculine feminine plural. So this is what I'm talking about. Accord du passé composé, otherwise known as agreement of the past participle. So if it's a masculine singular, you don't need to add anything. If it's feminine singular, you need to add an E. If it's masculine plural, you add an S. If it's feminine plural, you add an ES. Okay, it's just like adjective agreement as far as the letters to add. But you have to be careful in the passé composé and ask yourself the question, is this a reflexive verb that I'm conjugating, and that's why I'm using être and therefore making it agree? Or is it just a plain old être, okay, and that's why it's agreeing? Okay, so let me just point out quickly. Les verbes conjugués avec être, so Dr. and Mrs. P. Vandertramp, okay, to show you the difference of agreement versus no agreement. Madame Leclerc a voyagé en France. There's a verb conjugated with avoir, it's not a Vandertramp. And Madame Leclerc est partie en France. Okay, this is a Vandertramp, the verb partir. We conjugate it with être, okay, and therefore it has to agree. So we add an extra E because Madame Leclerc. Second category that I talked about as far as agreement of the past participle is reflexive verbs, okay? So we know that anytime we have a reflexive verb like se laver, we have to conjugate it with être in the passé composé. Therefore, we have to make it agree. Okay, so mon frère Marcel s'est lavé, that's a boy. Okay, so we have the reflexive pronoun, okay, attached to être. We don't need to make it agree because it's a boy. But ma sœur, Marceline, s'est lavée. It's a girl. Okay, it's a reflexive verb, and it agrees. Okay, we're going to stop there for now. I want you to do some more exercises in Passé Composé. Careful, if it's a Dr. and Mrs. Vandertramp, you have to use être, and therefore you have to make it agree. Okay, same goes for agreement if it's a reflexive verb. Okay, careful of the irregulars like le, vu, su, pu. Okay, good luck.